The girls that get it will get it, and the girls that don't will don't. Well, don't. But there's nothing better than taking a shower, using your favorite product, shaving, putting your body butter on, doing your skincare, pulling your hair out of your face, and sitting here with your drink, ready to do your makeup. Do you get it? You get it? I already know today's gonna give me good skin vibes. Like, my skin is really good recently. I just know that the base is gonna be so good. So I'm gonna share what I use. The Refy face primer. I love this applicator, how it just rolls. And then right after that, I go in with my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Pink Juice. Put that all over the face. And look how hydrating and prepped my face is for the beat. Even after I apply that Glow Recipe product, I like to go back in with my Refy primer product, but without squeezing the primer out. I just like to make sure that's all rolled into the skin. We always go in with a lip product before we start the makeup, just to make sure my lips are hydrated throughout the whole thing. This is the Fenty Beauty Lip Pudding. This lasts so long and it's so hydrating. Concealer combo, Hourglass in Sepia, and then the Haus Labs concealer in 24 Light Medium. Hourglass, which is the brighter concealer, I put it closer to the inner parts of my face, and the more neutral tone, I put it on the outer parts of my face. Using the brightening concealer brush from Real Techniques, I patted in gently all that concealer, and we're looking pretty white, obviously, because I didn't put my foundation on yet. I love laying my concealer underneath my skin. NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Cadiz. Real Techniques brush in 259, and I'm going to just tap that all over where I applied my concealer, but not straight underneath my eyes and not straight on the center of my forehead, just kind of like around the area, if you know what I mean. And then I'm gonna blend that in with my Beauty Blender sponge. Liss Contour I almost said something that was not stick. Liss Contour Stick in the shade Courage, and we're gonna drop that right on the high points of our cheeks and on our temples. That's really where I like to apply it, no other place typically. I love buffing out my contour with the Pro Foundation Brush 56 from Sephora. Yeah, Sephora. And I just tap that right in. It is a foundation brush, but it works super, super good for blending out contour, and it keeps it focused in the area you applied it rather than putting it all over the place. But look at that. You have to apply your contour higher up, because then it will elongate your face if you do it the other way. Whatever you blend out on your face, always go in with the beauty blender that you use to blend out with your foundation with, and just go back in and make sure everything's fused together so you don't see any harsh lines from the last product that you put on. I want peachy cheek vibes today, so I'm going with my Charlotte Tilbury Peach Pop Blush, and I'm applying, ooh, that was so much. The only thing I don't like about these blushes is the applicator, because like, you see how it's messy right here? If I close it, look at my fingers now. It's just messy, but they're really good, so I'm gonna still use it. Real Techniques brush in 200, and I'm going to blend that in with this brush all the way up the sides of my forehead, kind of going up the temples just a little bit and focusing that underneath my under eye, but leaving a little bit of space. I'm going to bring back some of the concealer because the blush is so pigmented, it always washes it out, but keeping it focused in this area right here. So right after I do that blush, I go back in with 2 dots of the brightest concealer, which is the Hourglass one. And then I tap it in with my beauty sponge, and look at how that just brightens up the under eye and brings back some of that under eye concealer from all the blush that you put on. And it almost gives it that ombre blush effect. Look. Ooh. Taking a fresh powder puff from Huda Beauty and going in with my Cherry Blossom translucent powder, not translucent powder, pink powder, pressed powder, and I'm gonna press underneath my under eyes, going up with this one before we bake. I want the under eyes to be super bright today, so I'm using the One Size Beauty Powder Foundation in Fair, and I'm tapping some of that on the inner corners of my under eyes before I set it with baking powder. I always set my under eyes with a pressed powder before the baking powder so that everything is smooth. I'll also place some of this on the center of the forehead. I didn't put any pink powder on the center of the forehead because we don't want a pink forehead. There we go. Now taking some of the Cherry Blossom, this is Peach Pie, wrong one. Taking some of the Cherry Blossom, I'm putting that on my powder puff and wiping it off on the back of my hand to make sure that's all flat. And I'm gonna press that in, going up the side of my face and letting that sit for just a little while before I dust it off. And for the rest of my face, I'm taking my translucent pressed powder by Fenty Beauty and gently tapping that in with my Say powder brush. This brush is so soft and it has no shedding, so I absolutely love it. And then I'm gonna dust that under eye off as well. Perfect. bronzing up with the Juvia's Place bronzer in the shade Tan. I'm just gonna add this wherever I added my contour, just to add back some bronzeness. Adding some contour to the nose as well. And I like to do this from my eyebrow all the way down to the tip of my nose and underneath the nose, just to add some dimension to it. If I ever have an itch, I'll just take a really stubby brush and press in. Ooh, it's so itchy right here. Grabbing my Rouge Romance palette by Jaclyn Hill and taking this peachy blush, I'm just gonna add some pigment right here going up the face and on the tip of my nose, and I like to do some on the eyelids as well. Before I continue with anything else, I'm gonna set my face with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I always need a fan because, girl, I be setting my face like with a lot of setting spray. All right, well, my fan died. That's perfect. Now I'm just sitting here with a drenched face. For highlighter, I'm taking my Pat McGrath's Divine Blush and Glow Cheek palette. This highlighter in here, it's just so like subtle, but also so natural and glowy and fresh, and you just look like you have mini pearls built into your cheeks. Like, look at that. I love this highlighter. I always go to this palette. I don't even remember how long ago I got it, but I always reach for this palette. Okay, guys, I'm gonna brush up my nose and eyes with some highlighter, and then I'm gonna finish the rest of my face, which is probably just gonna be lipstick and some lashes, and I'll show y'all the finishing look. But look at our beat today. Here's the final look, and I just added a little single lash to the tip to make it more sultry. And for the lip combo, I applied the Huda Beauty lip liner in the shade Rich Brown, and then one of my favorite lipsticks ever, the MAC Maximal lipstick in the shade Mullet. And then I topped it off with a new Huda Beauty Faux Filler lip gloss in the shade Bombshell. Just look how pretty this gloss is. Like, look at this look. Look at this look. I knew it was gonna be a good makeup day, y'all.